Ash, fantastic fertilizer. Hey, I'm Dr. Tom Warren, and you're watching The Plant Doctor. What I want to talk about today is the advantages of keeping your ash, whether it's from a chimenea or whether it's from your grill, and using it in your landscape to enhance your plant growth. Hang with me through this video. I'm going to show you some plants that I have put ash on and have not put ash on, and I think you'll see a big difference between them. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is how I collect my ash. I have two areas that I routinely burn things on this patio. So me and the family routinely come out here in the evenings, and we'll do a fire and listen to music and do s'mores. So I have wood ash in my chimenea, and I also have ash in my egg style cooker. If you're using ash out of a grill, make sure that you are using only 100% hard charcoal. Don't use the briquettes. We're looking for 100% wood with that. Great added benefits. Let's talk about some of the benefits of using ash in the garden. So ash has been used for hundreds of years. So the name potassium really is derived from the word potash. And what can this do for us? It's giving us a lot of potassium. It also has the ability to raise the pH of our soils. Where I'm at, I have extremely acidic soils. So I'm in the southeastern United States, and our soils for the most part can run between like 5.5 and 4.5. Really acidic soils. There's some exceptions to that where we have some prairie soils, but for the most part, we're going to have very acidic soils. And most plants like to have a pH of around 6 to 6.5. An excellent way to raise the pH is to add some ash to those areas that I want to raise the pH. Ash is also going to greatly enhance my soil structure. Where I'm at, I have very sandy soils, and water leaches readily. So do nutrients out of my soil layer. This added structure that I have in this ash will actually aid in some of the moisture retention that I'm looking for in my soils. Once I've collected my ash, one thing that I like to do is sift through the bucket and find any big chunks of charcoal or little lumps of wood that did not get burned. We will simply take those out and remove them from the bucket so that we're not putting that into the landscape. There's a paper that I'm going to link down into the description below from the University of New Hampshire. You can review it if you would like to. This is where I got this information from. But not only is ash around 5 to 10% potassium, but you're also getting around 25% calcium. You're getting zinc, you're getting copper, around 2% phosphorus. You're getting boron, sulfur, and molybdenum all from your ash. Here again, a great fertilizer. And if we think about it, this is nature's natural fertilizer, especially where I'm at. So we have the longleaf pine ecosystem here, and that entire ecosystem, the understory plants, the longleaf pines, all of it evolved around fire. A lot of those seeds cannot germinate until they've been exposed to excessive heat. But think about it. When a fire comes through, yes, it's devastating, but 2-3 weeks later, there's this lush flush of green that comes from the forest floor, and everything's alive and vibrant again. We are emulating that with the ash. And if you don't believe me, let's go out in the landscape and take a look. I have some plants where I've put ash on them. I have plants where I have not put ash in. They're all the same cultivar plant, same species of plant. So we're going to get a fair comparison between putting ash and not putting ash. Let's go take a look. So I have 3 camellias here. There's 1, there's 2, and the third one's here. And whenever my ash bin gets full in my Kamado Joe, I literally just take it and sling it across these 2 camellias, not the last camellia. I stand here and I'll put it on these 2. So let's take a look, a close-up look. I want you to look at the foliage here. This is with ash. Nice, clean, vibrant foliage. And look at the number of flower buds I have. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 on this tip, just loaded with flower buds. There's 3 or 4 on this tip. Let's find another random one here. 1, 2, there's 3 on this one. Just beautiful, beautiful foliage, beautiful flower buds. Same with the one in the middle that is getting ash. You see here, lots of flower buds, clean foliage. This is the one that's not getting any ash. I haven't put any fertilizer on any of these except for the ash. I do have some leaves on this one, you can see here, that are chlorotic. Okay, and probably not as many flower buds either. See, on this limb, there's no flower buds. On this limb, there's none. There's a flower bud there. Over here, there's a flower bud. A flower, but no multiple flower buds. Here's one that's got 3 right here, but I'm really having to look. So not as many flower buds without the ash, chlorotic leaves, and I don't know if it's going to show up on camera or not, but this one without ash is not as tall either. So it seems that ash is definitely playing a role in the health of these Camellia sasanquas. This is a variegated butterfly bush, and I've been putting ash on this one for the past couple of years as well. I've got another one right around the corner we're going to look at. I'll stand up next to it, try to stay in the frame here. I'm a smidge over 6 foot tall, and this butterfly bush is taller than I am. I would say it's about 6'6", somewhere in there. Nice, full, lush foliage, lots of flowers on it. Just a beautiful specimen. Let's go around the corner and take a look at the one that I have not put ash on. This is the butterfly bush that has received no ash at all. They get about the same amount of sunlight. This one gets morning sun about 10 to 12 hours. The other one gets afternoon sun about 10 to 12 hours. So they're getting about the same amount of sunlight. The only difference is I have not put any ash at all on this plant, and the other one I dump copious amounts of ash on it. Anytime I've got ash, I usually just sling it in that general area, and you can see the difference. This one's probably about 4.5 feet tall, so the other one's about 2 foot taller, and the floral densities, the amount of flowers on the other one, it looks like it has more as well. I know this is kind of anecdotal. It's only an example of a couple of camellias and a couple of butterfly bushes, but I think it represents what we would see in general, putting out ash versus not putting out ash. So how am I putting my ash on these plants? I'm literally just slinging the ash onto the leaves, but I make sure of 1 or 2 things. It's going to rain really soon, or I immediately come back across it with the water hose and wash that ash off of the leaves and down into the soil layer. So specifically, what is ash doing for the plant? Well, it helps strengthen the cell wall of the plant, one. Can't stress enough how important that is in terms of integrity, not just of the leaf material, but the fruit as well. If you're using this in a garden, you know all about blossom end rot and the importance of calcium and potassium and helping to prevent that from happening. One thing I would encourage you not to do is put ash around any plant that's in the family Ericaceae. So Ericaceae is a fancy Latin word for plants that love acid. So things like azaleas, rhododendrons, blueberries, ash is a no-no. So remember, ash is going to raise the pH. Those plants like a lower pH. So do not put ash around those plants. Any other plant, pretty much fair game, have at it. They love the ash. Another no-no with ash would be don't use any wood that has had paint on it or lumber that has been pressure treated. There's probably chemicals in the paint or in that pressure treated wood that could be toxic. So one, we don't want those fumes going up into the air as smoke, but also we don't want to introduce that to the landscape bed as well and introduce something that may be harmful to the plants. Guys, as always, thank you for watching The Plant Doctor, and until next time, happy gardening.